Laying the groundwork for an end to the war with Iran. Breaking right now, President Trump tells the nation U.S. forces will soon finish the job in the Middle East. But he did not announce progress toward a peace agreement, even after saying for days that Iran was begging to make a deal. Thanks for staying up with us tonight. I'm Lisa Hughes. Brandon Truitt is in studio with us now with the major takeaways from the presidential address tonight. Brandon?
Well, Lisa, leading up to this address, the president has been giving shifting explanations for his goal in this war and how long it'll last, with polls showing Americans are growing more weary of the economic impacts here at home.
My fellow Americans, good evening.
In his first formal address on the war in Iran, President Donald Trump giving a progress report from the White House 32 days into the conflict.
Tonight, Iran's Navy is gone. Their Air Force is in ruins. Their leaders, most of them, terrorist regime they led, are now dead.
At least 13 American troops have died. Hundreds of others are injured. The president saying the best way to honor those soldiers is to complete the mission. But Wednesday night's address offered few details on the path forward.
We're going to finish it very fast. We're getting very close.
The president says the military is continuing to eliminate Iran's nuclear capabilities and suggested the operation would take another 2 to 3 weeks, a timeline he has given before.
We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong.
And then he turned to the economy. A recent CBS News poll shows roughly a third of Americans approve of the president's handling of the economy. And he addressed those soaring gas prices, calling them a short-term impact. Iran has a chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz, leading to the backlog of oil and gas tankers. The president calling on U.S. allies who have been skeptical of this war to step in.
Build up some delayed courage. Should have done it before, should have done it with us, as we asked. Go to the strait and just take it, protect it, use it for yourselves.
And Massachusetts Democrats, quick to react to this address, Senator Ed Markey, a veteran himself, called it ridiculous. Congressman Seth Moulton, also a veteran, labeled it an incoherent rant. Lisa.
Thank you, Brandon. Let's bring in political analyst John Keller now. John, the president tonight talked about gas prices and inflation and the stock market, albeit briefly, calling the financial strain from this war short term. Will that be enough to reassure Americans?
Sure doesn't look that way, Lisa. The price of crude oil soared while the speech was going on, and stock futures have plummeted since the speech was given. So that's not a good sign if you're looking for the market as an indicator. If you're talking about general public views of the war and hoping to improve on the dreadful poll numbers it's been drawing, I doubt that was really achieved tonight. Keep in mind, presidential addresses like this in recent history rarely move the needle. Partisans who favor the president in office like the speech. Those who oppose him don't like it. People in the middle don't watch it, particularly not on a school night. But, you know, there was really nothing in here to reassure anyone that this is coming to a quick end in a way that will be lasting and will address all the problems that it has generated. There were easily disprovable statements in the speech. And comments about the economy, really no inflation. That's a quote from the speech. I don't think there are too many people who watched it tonight who are going to sit there and say, oh, yes, that's right. There is no inflation.
Likely much more discussion on this tomorrow. John Keller, thank you.